Brother Logan.
Hello, Brother
You just
Karl.
released, yeah, you just released your album.
We did. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
We just released it, Ordo Aurum Archeia, which roughly translates in the vernacular to the history of the Order of the Golden Order of the Almighty.
yeah, the
So
archive.
the
Yeah, right.
archives, the Archeia.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I thought we could go through your lyrics because that's lyrics are important to
They
me.
are.
That's what I do,
Yes. Yes.
and you know everyone have their special thing, and I'm the lyric guy in our
Yes.
band,
Yep.
and that makes you when you write lyrics, you also listen to lyrics,
That's
right?
true. Yes. Yep.
And but you do all the stuff, so I guess you listen to the guitars and you listen to everything.
I have my hand in a little bit of everything. Yes.
Yeah. So let's start from the beginning there. Archeia. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. So Archaea, the second track on the album, which is basically the first real full song on the album. That is the overview of where the Golden Order of the Almighty started, which Archaea, like we said, roughly translates to the beginnings, the foundation, it's where we get the word archetype, things that, were before that
Yeah.
other things come from. So
Arcane, right?
arcane,
Arcane
yes,
stuff.
old of old. So
Yeah.
talking about the beginnings of the order was started by King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia. So
Yeah.
when it talks about a pagan king on his knees, that was
That's never gonna.
the madness of Nebuchadnezzar, and
Yeah.
that's what led to him both admitting and glorifying the true God of the universe, and according to the lore of the order, starting the order with the exiles. So
Yeah.
So as we just said, so Wisdom's Ring. Not only did it kind of rolled off the tongue in my mind as far as lyrics go, but like
It's like
when we
the first symbol is just a ring, right? Before
yes,
the yeah.
that is true. If you kind of like
Yeah.
this looks like
But
that, market
yeah, but
yeah,
the the race came about a lot later.
that is true.
So in the beginning it's just the ring, then it adds the mark of Cain,
Yes.
and finally it gets the final form. And now I've seen a new logo for a branch of the order.
Yes, that
Yeah,
is very correct and very similar. And so like when also like Wisdom's Ring, like when you think about stories that we're all familiar with, like the Lord of the Rings, and when they have the Fellowship, there's a scene in the movie that we're all pretty familiar with where they're all at when they're all talking about what they're going to do to destroy the ring. They're all in a circle,
yeah,
and it's like a
yeah,
fellowship. So that's like a
yeah.
ring as well.
That's the ring. Yeah,
Yes, talking with
and
Elrond.
like the Knights of the Round Table, that's also a
Exactly.
ring over.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Yep. So just talking. I mean, going back and just reiterating what the song is about, the power of God, because that is the focus of everything that has to do with the order. Is the power of God down through history, down through the ages, about how God has worked among kingdoms and among men, and so I wanted to bring that forward and show it's about God's power in
yeah.
the workings of history. Hidden working in the history of this world, there's a lot of things that sometimes get lost to history, or maybe lost to popular history, or so talking, or working in the shadows of the world, that type of thing. There's a lot of things that goes on that the mainstream of us don't notice until we start to uncover, and we stumble upon that rock in the wilderness and we uncover it, and all of a sudden we find something, and it leads to the next thing, and it leads to the next thing, and then you learn quite a bit. Really interesting history and stories having to do with it. It's not always right in your face, but it's there.
It's lurking.
It's lurking in the shadowy places of the world.
Yeah.
So the strength of Christ, yeah. So I mean, that was what the history of the order prior to Christ's first coming. That's what they were looking towards, was the fulfillment of the what you would call the proto-evangelium, the first declaration of the gospel.
It's pretty much in the time of Daniel.
Yes,
and that's when the Bible narrative first talks about the Son of Man, right?
Yes, about around that area.
Yeah, so
Daniel, Ezekiel,
right around there. Yeah.
So so just talking about that, and that how that is what the order stands for: power of God, strength of Christ, working through history in things and stuff like that. So yes,
the many, my dear Pharrell, both seen and unseen, working in the dim places, so that light cleanses the darkness. Long had those words echoed in my mind.
So that particular quote was from Abraham Van Helsing, which was written down by Nicholas Farrell in one of his letters to Quincy Harker. And so when that was unveiled, that was, just talking about it. A lot of this is that we're looking back on history from our modern viewpoint, and, kind of like an arc of time, but we're on this end of it. And so, but we're studying the past to learn something from it. Yes. So that's where that comes from. That I believe was somebody else's offering to this song.
Now when you mention it, I kind of forgot.
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah, it is. That often happens, that I go back and I look to stuff that I've written down, and I don't remember that I did it.
Yeah, that's 100% you, man. That's 100% you right there.
Okay. So what did I mean by that then?
Oh, I know. I can tell you what you meant by that, or how I interpreted it and incorporated it.
Yeah.
A lot of times, working in the dim places of the world, it talks about in Ephesians how our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the powers of this dark world, against the things we can't see. Both things work in places seen and unseen in the goings on of this, or on this earth. And there's a war going on that we cannot see, and we don't totally understand, but we know that there is more than just this, what we can touch and see. There's a supernatural element in a battle going on. So
it's like mushrooms. What we call like the mushroom is just the fruit of the fungus. The real thing is under the earth.
Yes.
So the tree is under the earth, and the mushrooms are just the apples, so to speak.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is yours as well. And
Yeah.
I interpret that as, like we've talked about, there's a lot of things, teachings coded in the lore. It's what the order talks about in one of the books is, the parable of time. I like to call it an adventure. Is we get to experience and learn about these things from the lore and the history. And so it's teachings, it's wisdom, it's learning something out of that, and it's coded in the lore and things that are written down in the past.
Yeah, it's like when people interpret the Bible, you got some people that reads the symbols, and you got some people that read the text, and and you got, well, it's a lot of levels there.
Yes.
And they can all be right.
Yes. An onion has
it's
many layers to it.
Yeah. And we have flesh, and we have soul, and we have a spirit. We have body. I mean, flesh, not as in the flesh,
Yes.
but as,
yes.
And so we have a body, we have a soul, and we have a spirit.
Yep.
And so does the word of God.
Yep. I agree.
It has the form. It has, yeah.
Yes.
And also sometimes legends and history might have these different,
That is very true. That is, you can always learn something from the different aspects of it.
So we have these things that we know now are not true, like the thing with the bird that puts his head in the sand.
Is that an ostrich? No.
Yeah, they don't do that.
No.
But we still say that, and
exactly.
we still use it in. Yeah.
Yep.
And also, I've learned recently that the thing with a frog in boiling water is also BS.
Oh,
they
is?
jump out. That's what I've heard. But it still works. It still works fine.
Yes. It's a
It's
a parable that we understand what we're trying to say in a way that we can understand it. It's the truth behind it that doesn't change.
Yeah, but I mean, even if the frogs don't do that, we do that.
Mm-hmm.
We stay in the water.
Yes, we do.
But blame the frogs, blame the lesser animals.
Yes, that's very good point.
Time's a whisper in the storm. What comes to pass has been hard.
I really like those lyrics because they especially the first line there, it really keeps a sense of mystery. And like time's a whisper in the storm. That can mean so many things. Me personally, time's a whisper in the storm, and what comes to pass has been before. Well, that's like in Ecclesiastes. There's nothing new under the sun. And the storm comes back, and it brings with it whispers of the past. Sometimes there's screams, and other times they're whispers, but it's always there. So you learn from the teachings from the past. So as you march down a new road.
You know what? That finishes that song.
Yeah. It's a very good song. Very good song.
Yeah, it is.
Which, by the way, I want to say on that song, thank you, Casey Hurd of Heniana. You absolutely killed those vocals, and it was an absolute honor to have you as part of that song and to do everything that you did for it. So from Symphony of Heaven to Casey and all our brothers in Heniana, thank you guys very much. We love you.
So that's do you have words to send us off before we go into the next song?
Oh, well, I would say since the album is now out, that you guys can find it on all the streaming platforms. You guys have been it's been great, the support thus far, and we pray just to keep going with it. So thank you guys very much. Order your own copy, physical CD, and also some merchandise, and support independent, awesome metal. We're working hard here for you guys. So yes,
stay metal,
and stay free.